In this video, avoiding bananas and tomatoes might actually be the exact reason why your potassium is always too high and your kidney function is too low. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine and I have helped thousands of kidney disease patients take back control of their health.
I want to thank Miss Catherine. Because of you, you saved my kidneys, and I'm going to give you a list of things I did that took my kidneys from 54 to 98.
Listen to me. There is an absolute revolution happening right now in the medical world regarding a renal diet, and it is entirely about potassium. The old, outdated rules of restricting every single fruit and vegetable have finally been thrown out the window. And forgetting those outdated restrictions is literally saving patients from dialysis. Look at this recent case report published in the Diabetes Technology and Obesity Medicine. This 60-year-old woman was suffering from diabetes, advanced CKD, and swelling. But unlike most patients who are just handed a pamphlet and told to aggressively avoid potatoes, tomatoes, and citrus fruits, she was prescribed the exact opposite. Her doctor told her to eat more high-potassium foods: hibiscus tea, lemon, amla, spinach, and multiple different types of squashes. Keep these foods in mind because here's the thing, guys. These foods weren't just allowed in moderation. They weren't just a tiny side dish she could eat if she got bored of white rice and apples. Nope! These high potassium foods became the absolute backbone of her diet. She ate these foods aggressively every single day. Now, based on the old rules, you will think her fragile kidneys will literally explode from all that potassium, right? Wrong! After just 6 weeks of this incredible plant-based diet, her kidney function went straight back to normal. Look at this, guys. She was able to shoot her GFR all the way up to an 83.49. No more chronic kidney disease for her. Just like that. Boom! Now guys, today I don't just want to show you the foods that save this woman from the machine. I want to show you the exact foods that can save you. Yes, let's see immediately 4 foods to lower your potassium and your creatinine. So the very first vital addition I want to talk about is hibiscus tea. This tea is an absolute powerhouse and I recommend it to my patients constantly because here is the secret. Hibiscus tea isn't just one of the most antioxidant-rich teas on earth. It actually comes with one gigantic biological perk that was absolutely vital to this woman's success story. Hibiscus tea is extremely effective against high blood pressure. A major review of clinical studies found that hibiscus tea literally slashed blood pressure in dozens of test subjects, dropping it by an average of 7.58 over 3.53 millimeters of mercury, which is just amazing if you ask me. And here's the thing, this tea, it absolutely helps fix your potassium levels as well. Now, I know exactly what you are asking, but Catherine, my doctor explicitly told me I shouldn't drink herbal teas that contain potassium. Why on earth are you saying hibiscus tea lowers my potassium levels? Because here's the thing, guys, this is the exact scientific finding that forced the medical community to throw the old rules into the trash. Here it comes. Potassium from whole, plant-based foods does not cause high serum potassium in your blood. This is what modern science definitely proves. Do you know what actually raises your potassium? Your blood pressure medications, your ACE inhibitors. So here is the massive trap so many kidney patients are falling for with their potassium levels. They are prescribed standard blood pressure medications, ACE inhibitors like lisinopril and enalapril, or ARBs like losartan, and they are prescribed these drugs in doses that are simply too high for their fragile kidneys to handle. I see this happening a lot. The result, these specific medications physically block your kidney's ability to excrete potassium. So you are avoiding high potassium foods, but the kidney doors are locked shut by the medication and your serum potassium still skyrockets. This is extremely common, but it can be completely prevented by taking aggressive steps to lower your blood pressure naturally. Hibiscus tea is amazing for that, but you must look at the whole package. deep hydration, a cleaner plant-based diet, slashing your sugar intake, daily physical activity, stress reduction. You must do everything to keep your blood pressure under control naturally, because think about the math. The less your blood pressure spikes, the lower the doses of medication you need, and the lower the medication dose, the lower your potassium levels are going to be. So here's the thing, if your potassium is too high, blindly cutting healthy, high potassium foods out of your diet won't fix the root problem. It won't really lower your potassium level. Reducing the need for massive, heavy-duty doses of lisinopril or losartan, on the other hand, will change your life. So yeah, that old school advice to stop eating the exact fruit and vegetables that actively lower your blood pressure, it seems pretty dangerously outdated now, doesn't it? And a quick vital reminder, you must avoid sodium. Salt doesn't just spike your blood pressure, which ruins all the hard work. You just need to lower it naturally. Salt acts like biological sandpaper, directly scraping and damaging your kidney filters. Be incredibly careful. Okay, let's move on. Number 3 is fiber. Yes, increased fiber intake can absolutely lower potassium and creatinine levels. In fact, there is one critical thing all foods that saved this woman's kidney have in common. They are packed with fiber, and fiber is infinitely more important to your potassium levels than you realize. Most people have no idea this biological backup system exists. But when your kidney filters are clogged and falling to dump potassium, your gut will actually step up and become the emergency overflow valve. Medical science proves that in some CKD patients, up to 80% of the potassium leaving their body exits through their stool, not their urine. Incredible! Your gut literally becomes the escape hatch for dangerous potassium. But here's the catch. Look at what the researchers say. There is a direct, undeniable link between how much fiber you eat and how much potassium your body can dump, alright? And I mean, it's pretty straightforward if you think about it. Fiber is just the train carts your gut uses to move things around. The more the train carts, the more the stuff that can be carried out. Potassium, creatinine, uremic toxins. The more the fiber, the less the toxins. Simple as that. And guys, that is exactly why I demand that all my patients supplement with Rena fiber. If you are terrified of eating too many vegetables right now, Rena fiber is basically the only way to get a massive clinical dose of 100% safe fiber that actively protects your kidneys. But Rena fiber is doing so much more than just acting as a potassium sweeper. This fiber has been actively used in medical literature to drop creatinine levels. It's true. Look at this jaw-dropping study. In the clinical trial on the screen right now, not just one patient was able to stop dialysis, but 9, all thanks to the exact specific fiber inside Rena fiber. Yes, just by taking a high daily dose of this specialized fiber supplement, patients who were literally facing the dialysis machine were able to walk away from it completely. Now imagine what Rena fiber can do for your kidneys if you deploy it right now before you reach end-stage kidney disease. So here's my advice. Do not wait until the machine is your only option. You can find Rena fiber from Rena Biotech by clicking the link down in the description or by visiting renabiotech.co. Starting today, lower your potassium, sweep out the toxins, and drop your creatinine. Okay guys, number 2, the next superfood that saved this 60-year-old woman from kidney disease is the amla or Indian gooseberry. This is a real superfood. The amla doesn't just help with diabetes. In India, this fruit is considered a remedy for many conditions: heartburn, immune health, liver health, and more. And the reason? The huge amount of antioxidants this fruit packs. Yes, the amla is amazing and it's super easy to find in India and other Asian countries. But don't worry, if you are from the US or Europe, I will also share some alternatives with the same potassium and creatinine lowering properties of amla. Because here's the thing, despite the moderate to high potassium content of amla, this fruit could literally drop your potassium level back to normal. Let me explain. There is a simple reason why this woman was literally prescribed water with lemon and 1 amla fruit every morning before breakfast. And it's to prevent one of the main causes of high potassium levels in CKD patients: constipation. Amla has one huge kidney saving property. It's a natural laxative. Because here's the thing. If you are suffering from constipation, your serum potassium is going to skyrocket. And that's a problem because many doctors are still recommending a low potassium diet for high serum potassium, right? what they don't consider is that reducing fiber intake causes even more constipation. And that's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous because your potassium levels will be even higher. It's true, most people don't know this, but the time potassium spends in your gut has a much bigger effect on your serum potassium than the amount of potassium you eat, alright? So it's not just what you eat, it's how long that food stays inside you. An apple sitting in your gut for 3 days can raise potassium more than a banana that moves through in 1 day. That's why constipation can be such a big problem for potassium levels in kidney disease. And what this also implies is that each and every time a patient of mine has high potassium levels, we have to go through an awkward conversation. How often do you have a bowel movement? Is it every day, every 2 days, or every week, month? Okay guys, my point is that even if constipation is extremely common if you have CKD, it doesn't have to be like that. Constipation should be treated as soon as possible, and the first line should always be more water if possible and more fiber like myarena fiber. On top of that, also add fruits with laxative properties like the amla. Something else you might find more readily available in Western countries is, of course, the plum. This fruit is very well known for its natural laxative properties. Pears are also great because they are rich in fiber and in sorbitol, particularly when eaten with the skin on. A fruit not a lot of people know about is the papaya. And this tropical fruit, it's amazing for digestion. It's not just a great source of fiber, it also contains a digestive enzyme called papain that aids in breaking down food and stimulating the intestines. Papain is also considered a remedy for irritable bowel syndrome, and it literally helps the good functioning of the intestines. And if nothing works, use an osmotic laxative like polyphenol glycol. Make sure this issue is solved as soon as possible. Remember that the longer your bowel stays inactive, the harder it becomes to get it moving again. Okay guys, almost time for our number 1 for today, the most powerful food when it comes to lowering both creatinine and potassium levels. Before that, a question a lot of people want to ask right now is, what should you do if your potassium levels are too high to begin with? Well, the answer is simple. If your serum potassium is above 5 or if it's getting there, take action immediately. Take a look at my slide. This is exactly what you need to do if your serum potassium is out of that range. Because no, avoiding bananas won't help. Addressing the root cause of the issue will. So let's see exactly what to do to bring your serum potassium back to normal. First of all, like I was saying, if you're constipated, get things moving. Use reno fiber to increase fiber intake safely. Drink more water if possible. Take advantage of fruits with laxative properties, plums, amla, papaya, and take a laxative if needed. Remember, constipation isn't just uncomfortable. It can literally trap potassium in your body. Second, if you're diabetic, get your blood sugar under control. High blood sugar pushes potassium out of cells and into the bloodstream, raising your serum potassium dangerously, right? Fact, diabetic patients are even more at risk for hyperkalemia exactly for this reason. Now guys, you probably noticed I haven't recommended foods to control diabetes in the context of high potassium, right? Well, there is a reason for that. If your serum glucose is so severely out of control that it reaches a point in which it increases your serum potassium, you need medical attention. You don't need a diet change, you need insulin. A blood sugar level that high will make a huge damage to your kidneys and it can cause other serious complications. Don't wait, take action immediately. Something else we don't really manage with the diet is, of course, dialysis adequacy. So if you are a dialysis patient and your serum potassium levels are too high, inform your dialysis team about this issue as soon as you notice it, alright? Look, your dialysis machine, it's not a very sophisticated machine. It doesn't have AI. It needs to be fine-tuned manually by your dialysis team. And having too high serum potassium in your labs is something that absolutely prompts for an in-depth review of dialysis adequacy. Fourth, if you have hard to control blood pressure, treat blood pressure holistically, not just with medications. Like I was saying, ACE inhibitors or ARBs are actually considered one of the primary causes of high serum potassium in CKD patients. So make sure you're not only taking the right medications, but also supporting your blood pressure with the right diet and lifestyle choices. By the way guys, if you are looking at this list and you are wondering which one of these steps you should do, well, it's all of them. This is a checklist, alright? If any of this box is not checked, you are not receiving proper treatment for CKD. And guys, there is no improving if something as important as blood pressure or blood sugar is not under control. I hope this is clear. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about metabolic acidosis or too much acid in the blood. Let's talk about it. This is our number 1 for today. because this issue, too much acid in blood, is extremely common in CKD patients and extremely dangerous. But unlike some of the other causes for high serum potassium levels we just discussed, metabolic acidosis must be treated with the diet first. So here's the thing. There is one more food that saved this woman from CKD and that she is having every morning. It's 1 cup of lemon water every day before breakfast. And this food is extremely important when it comes to preventing high potassium levels. So here's how it works. A lot, and I mean a lot, of CKD patients are suffering from an undiagnosed, little known complication of CKD called metabolic acidosis, or too much acid in blood. To put it simple, if you have CKD and you still consume protein, your kidneys are most likely to be overwhelmed by protein toxins. Creatinine, uric acid, picresyl sulfate, indoxyl sulfate. And what most people don't know is that these toxins are also acids, which is a problem because, you know, your body will use bicarbonate, a base, to try and fight these acids. Now, these molecules are also electrically charged, which means the body needs a third molecule to counteract this, and it will have to push potassium out of the cells and into the bloodstream. Yes, all this mess for a steak, and we have not even seen the worst of it. Because you see, when there is too much potassium in your blood, the kidneys will have even harder time excreting acid, making the whole situation even more messy. Here's some good news. We can prevent this with a diet. Lemon water is particularly useful here, especially if you drink it the right way. Want to know more? I made a full video about this. It's up here and also down in the description. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!